So we started looking around to see what was available to do. We found a real treasure. We found a 9/11 museum. Little did we know this is where the plane in Pennsylvania went down. So they've got a national park here.
Of all the places we've been, Shanksville, Pennsylvania and Flight 93 National Memorial was the most emotionally moving.
So at the crash site, they have what they call Memorial Plaza, and we're headed there now. And 40 is a very significant number here. There were 40 passengers on the plane and 4 terrorists who they don't recognize.
As we were walking in, buses pulled up and unloaded hordes of school kids. Lest we never forget came to mind immediately.
A bronze map of the acreage shows where all the displays are in the entire area.
This walkway follows the trajectory of Flight 93, and these large panels give you information about the timeline. There are also lots of park rangers to answer any questions that you might have. It was 6 minutes from when the passengers began their struggle to when the plane crashed. That's a long time for a life and death struggle.
For a huge plane, the pieces of debris were tiny.
There are no words to describe how deeply the voices of those calling their loved ones affected us. Well, we just visited the Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and we're speechless at the moment.
There are 40 groves of red maple, 1 grove for each passenger or crew member. An everyday flight on a 757. An area for the sole purpose of laying wreaths.
Up there's where the museum is, and the trail comes down to the wall. We're going to take you there. This is what they call the debris field, and the crash site is that rock there. I'll get a closer picture. But this also was a debris field.
This huge boulder marks the site of impact.
This gate, like everything else here, is symbolic.
Its beams are made of hemlock wood, the same trees that edge the field where the plane went down.
In a mark of respect, only family members of the passengers and crews are allowed past this point.
The mown grass here shows the trajectory of the plane.
40 marble slabs, each bearing 1 name of a crew or passenger member. Some have left items for their friends or family members.
Everything we saw seemed to honor those who died. Even the benches were shaped like the wings of a plane. The Tower of Voices is 93 feet tall, with 40 wind chimes, each with a unique sound. It is an auditory reminder of those who were lost.
Just a field in the Pennsylvania countryside.
Flight 93, National Monument, Stoysville, Pennsylvania. What a find.
It amazes me how many places that we are driving and we end up and then we go, oh my gosh, that's here? So we go see it and it turns out to be so impactful. I don't think we've been any place in the United States that has impacted us as much as Flight 93 Memorial.
You know, it's so well laid out. You know, the actual flight path is a series of buildings and walls, etc. So you get the feeling of just, you know, how these last few minutes occurred.
Well, they'll give you the time that the plane would have been there, and then the story of what was happening at that particular time on the plane. I was mostly touched by, of course, the voices of the people calling their loved ones and how they held it together. And just the important thing that they wanted to get across is, I love you. It's something. It's really something.
But you know, they were so brave. I think that's a word that sticks out in my mind. And you know, valor is another one. And I think that all of the people in unity showed such strength and resilience against this. This was an act of terrorism, and they were not going to stand for it.
That's right. Life or death situation, and they chose the country. Yeah. They knew where they were headed.
So what else amazed you?
That these weren't these military men. These were everyday people that rose to the occasion. And I think that speaks to me, especially in this day and time where you kind of wonder, what are we thinking, you know, really, as a country? We're so divided, and yet these people came together with different opinions, I'm sure, on everything, but they knew that something had to be done. And there's a hero within all of us, I think.
Well, I think that they truly showed the American spirit, the true American spirit, and it was just awe-inspiring to see. And I felt very proud to be a new American myself, so it was good. Flight 93, National Monument, Stoysville, Pennsylvania.
There's that saying at the end of the flight path where you're overlooking the crash and debris site, and it says, one day an ordinary field, the next a field of honor.
Hey, thanks for watching. And if you like our videos, please press the subscribe button.